Welcome to day 2 of English Podcast for Learning English, the perfect place for your easy English listening practice. Today, we are going to learn how to talk about your daily routine using the present simple tense. Hello, everyone. I am Lily, your host, your guide, and your friend on this beautiful journey to mastering English. When we talk about our morning routine, we usually start from the very beginning of the day. For me, my alarm clock goes off at 6:30 every morning. Let us pause there. Go off is a phrasal verb. When an alarm clock goes off, it means it starts making a loud noise to wake you up. It sounds funny, right? Because off usually means stopping something, like turning off a light. But when an alarm goes off, it rings loudly. So, my alarm goes off, and honestly, I am not a morning person. Not a morning person is a great phrase to describe someone who hates waking up early and feels tired and grumpy in the morning. Are you a morning person or are you a night owl? A night owl is someone who loves staying up late at night and has all their energy when the sun goes down. I am definitely a night owl trying to survive in a morning person's world. So, my alarm goes off, and what do? I hit the snooze button. We all do it, right? To hit the snooze button means to press that little button on your phone or clock that gives you 10 more minutes of sleep. I usually hit the snooze button at least twice. I lie in bed for a few minutes, trying to clear the cobwebs from my brain. To clear the cobwebs means to get rid of that foggy, sleepy feeling in your head so you can think clearly. Eventually, I drag myself out of bed. Notice that I didn't just say, I get up. I said, I drag myself out of bed. This phrase gives you a vivid picture, doesn't it? It means I am so tired that it feels physically heavy and difficult to stand up. It shows that I am moving slowly because I am still half asleep. Once my feet hit the floor, the very first thing I do is walk straight to the kitchen. I do not pass go. I do not collect $200. I go straight for the coffee maker. I need my morning coffee to function. Without it, I am like a zombie walking through the house. While the coffee is brewing, which means the coffee machine is making the coffee, I like to open the kitchen window and take a deep breath of fresh air. This is a small habit, but it helps me start the day on the right foot. To start the day on the right foot is a wonderful idiom. It means to begin your day in a positive, happy, and successful way. If you start the day on the wrong foot, it means something bad happens early in the morning, and it ruins your mood for the rest of the day. For example, if you spill coffee on your shirt right before you leave the house, you might say, "Oh no, I started the day on the wrong foot today." After my coffee is ready, I sit down at the kitchen table. I drink my coffee black with no sugar or milk. I love the bitter taste. While I sip my coffee, I scroll through my phone. To scroll through your phone means to look at your social media, read the news, or check your emails by moving your thumb up and down on the screen. I think almost everyone in the world does this now. It has become a global routine, but I try not to do it for too long because it can easily become a time sink. A time sink is something that takes up a lot of your time without giving you any real value. You think you have been looking at your phone for 2 minutes, but you look at the clock and 20 minutes have passed. Next up in my routine is breakfast. They say breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and I agree. I usually keep it simple. I eat a bowl of oatmeal with some fresh berries and a drizzle of honey. Sometimes, if I am feeling fancy, I fry an egg and toast a piece of whole wheat bread. Notice the verbs I am using here. Eat, keep, fry, toast. All of these are in the present simple tense. I eat, you eat. He eats. Remember that little S at the end of the verb when you talk about someone else? He eats, she eats, it eats. It is a small rule, but it is the one rule that trips people up the most. To trip someone up means to cause someone to make a mistake. So, don't let that little S trip you up when you are speaking. After breakfast, it is time to get ready for the day. I go to the bathroom, I brush my teeth, I wash my face with cold water to wake myself up, and I do my skincare routine. Then, I head back to my bedroom to pick out my clothes. To pick out means to choose something from a group. I pick out a comfortable outfit because I love being cozy while I work. If I'm working from home, I might just wear a nice sweater and some sweatpants. No one can see my pants on a video call anyway, right? That is the secret joy of working from home. Now, let us move on to the next major part of the day, commuting or going to work. To commute means to travel from your home to your place of work or school. My friend Sarah has a very different routine than mine. She works in a big office downtown. She leaves her house at exactly 7:45 every morning. She catches the subway. To catch the subway or catch the bus means to get on the public transit just in time before it leaves. Sarah always tells me that the subway is packed like sardines in the morning. Packed like sardines is a funny idiom that means a place is incredibly crowded with people standing very close together, just like little fish inside a tiny tin can. Have you ever been on a bus or train that was packed like sardines? It is not the most pleasant experience, but it is a very common part of many people's daily routines. While Sarah is squished on the train, she likes to listen to podcasts, just like you are doing right now. She says it helps her kill time. To kill time means to do something to pass the time while you are waiting for something else to happen. Listening to an English podcast is the absolute best way to kill time because you are turning dead time into learning time. When Sarah arrives at her office, the first thing she does is say good morning to her coworkers. Then, she sits at her desk and tackles her inbox. To tackle something means to deal with a problem or a big task with a lot of energy and determination. Football players tackle each other to stop the ball. But in daily life, we tackle our emails, we tackle our chores, and we tackle our homework. Sarah reads through dozens of emails that came in overnight, replies to the urgent ones, and deletes the junk mail. Around noon, it is time for lunch. In many cultures, lunch is the biggest meal of the day, but for Sarah and me, it is usually a quick bite. To have a quick bite means to eat a small, fast meal because you do not have a lot of time. Sarah usually brings a salad or a sandwich from home and eats it at her desk while chatting with her work friends. Sometimes, if she has had a stressful morning, she will go out for a walk around the block to get some fresh air and clear her head. To clear your head means to stop thinking about stressful thoughts so you can feel calm and relaxed again. It is so important to take these little breaks during the day, isn't it? If we work nonstop without a break, we burn out. To burn out means to become completely exhausted and lose all your energy because you have been working too hard for too long. Let us switch gears now and talk about the afternoon routine. To switch gears means to change the topic or change the way you are doing something, just like changing gears in a car. In the afternoon, around 3 o'clock, many people experience what we call the afternoon slump. The afternoon slump is that specific time of day, usually after lunch, when you suddenly feel very tired, sluggish, and unfocused. Your eyes feel heavy, and you just want to take a nap. How do you fight the afternoon slump? Some people run to the office kitchen to get a sugary snack or another cup of coffee. I usually drink a big glass of cold water and do some quick stretches next to my desk. It works wonders. Works wonders is a beautiful phrase that means something is incredibly effective and gives excellent results. Drinking water works wonders for my energy levels. When 5 o'clock finally rolls around, it is time to wrap things up. To roll around in this context means to arrive or happen in the course of time. When 5 o'clock rolls around, it means 5 o'clock arrives. And to wrap things up means to finish or complete a task, a meeting, or your workday. Sarah wraps up her work, shuts down her computer, packs her bag, and says goodbye to her team. She heads back to the subway station for her evening commute. Now, let us talk about the evening, which is my absolute favorite part of the day because it is time to unwind. To unwind means to relax after a period of work or tension. Think of a tight spring that slowly loosens up. That is what you do when you unwind. People unwind in many different ways. Some people go straight to the gym to pump iron. To pump iron is a slang phrase that means to lift weights and exercise hard at the gym. Other people prefer to go home and cook a nice warm meal. Cooking dinner is a huge part of my daily routine. I find it very therapeutic. Therapeutic means something that helps you relax and makes you feel better mentally. I love the sound of chopped vegetables hitting a hot pan, the smell of garlic and onions frying, and the creativity of putting a meal together. Tonight, I think I will make a simple stir-fry with chicken and lots of colorful vegetables. While the food cooks, I like to put on some background music. It creates a lovely, peaceful atmosphere in the house. After dinner, there is always the less fun part of the routine, cleaning up. I wash the dishes, wipe down the countertops, and take out the trash. It is not exciting, but it is a necessary evil. A necessary evil is something that you do not like doing, but it must be done because it is important or unavoidable. Washing dishes is definitely a necessary evil in my book. Once the kitchen is clean, the rest of the evening belongs to me. This is when I can truly do what I love. Sometimes I read a book. Right now, I am reading a fascinating historical fiction novel. I can get completely lost in a book for hours. Other times, I sit on the couch and watch a movie or a couple of episodes of a TV show with my family. We call this binge watching, when you watch many episodes of a show one after the other without stopping. It is so easy to fall into the trap of saying, just one more episode, and suddenly it is midnight. This brings us to the final part of the daily routine, the bedtime routine. Having a good bedtime routine is crucial for getting a good night's sleep. Around 10 o'clock, I start to wind down. Notice the difference between unwind and wind down. To unwind means to relax your body and mind. To wind down means to gradually reduce your activity levels as you prepare for bed or prepare to sleep. I turn off the bright overhead lights and turn on a small, warm lamp. I put my phone away on the other side of the room. This is a rule I made for myself because if my phone is next to my bed, I will stay up late scrolling through social media, and that ruins my sleep quality. Putting my phone away helps me disconnect from the digital world. Then, I change into my pajamas, brush my teeth once more, and wash my face. Right before I climb into bed, I like to write in my gratitude journal. A gratitude journal is a small notebook where you write down 3 things you are thankful for that happened during the day. It could be something big, like getting a promotion at work, or something small, like a stranger smiling at you on the street, or enjoying a delicious cup of coffee. This habit helps me focus on the positive things in my life and puts my mind in a peaceful state before I close my eyes. Finally, I hit the sack. To hit the sack, or hit the hay, is a very popular idiom that simply means to go to bed and go to sleep. Long ago, people used to sleep on mattresses filled with straw or sacks filled with hay, which is where these idioms come from. So when I say, I am exhausted, I am going to hit the sack, it just means I am going to sleep. I turn off the lamp, pull the heavy blankets up to my chin, and drift off to sleep. To drift off means to gradually fall asleep, slowly moving from being awake to being in a deep dream state. And then before I know it, the night passes, the sun rises, my alarm goes off again, and the beautiful cycle of the daily routine starts all over again. Wow, we have covered a lot of ground today. We looked at the entire day, from the moment the alarm rings in the morning to the moment we close our eyes at night. And notice how everything we talked about used the present simple tense. We used simple verbs like go, wake, drink, walk, work, cook, read, and sleep. It is not scary, is it? It is just about connecting these simple actions together to tell your unique story. Now, let us do a quick review of the wonderful idioms and phrases we learned today so they can really stick in your brain. Repetition is the key to language learning after all. First, we talked about diving into the deep end, which means starting something difficult or complex without waiting. Then we met the morning person who loves the early hours and the night owl who thrives at night. We learned about hitting the snooze button to get those precious extra minutes of sleep and clearing the cobwebs to get rid of that foggy, sleepy feeling. We talked about dragging yourself out of bed when you are exhausted and starting the day on the right foot to begin your day in a positive way. We also discussed how scrolling on your phone can become a time sink, taking up your time without any value. We looked at the phrasal verb trip someone up, which means causing someone to make a mistake. We saw how a morning train can be packed like sardines, meaning it is incredibly crowded. We learned to kill time by doing an activity while waiting, and how to tackle our tasks or inbox with energy. We talked about having a quick bite to eat fast, and taking a walk to clear your head so you can avoid burning out. We felt the effects of the afternoon slump and found things that work wonders to give us energy. We learned to wrap things up at the end of the workday when 5 o'clock rolls around. We discovered how to unwind and relax after work, perhaps by going to the gym to pump iron. We recognized that cleaning the kitchen is a necessary evil because it must be done even if we hate it. Finally, we learned to wind down before bed, to hit the sack when we go to sleep, and to drift off into dreams. Look at that amazing list. You now have a fantastic vocabulary toolkit to talk about your day like a natural speaker. Your homework for today is very simple. Think about your own daily routine. What is the very first thing you do when you wake up? Do you drag yourself out of bed? Or do you jump up with energy? Do you drink coffee or tea? Write down a few sentences using the present simple tense and try to use at least one idiom or phrase we learned today. You can practice saying it out loud while you are cooking dinner or walking to the bus stop. Thank you so much for joining me for Day 2 of English Podcast for Learning English. Your dedication to your easy English listening practice is absolutely inspiring, and you should be very proud of yourself for taking this time to invest in your future and your education. Keep practicing, keep listening, and remember that every single day you are getting better and better. I cannot wait to see you next time. Until then, take care, have a wonderful day, and happy learning.